Hey everybody, I'm in our garden and I'm gonna give you a tour of what I think is the worst garden I've had in at least 3 years. Um, there's still some successes, so let me show you a few of the successes first, and then I'll show you what I think my problems were this year. I know what my big problem was. I was a little lazy when it came to the garden, but let's go ahead and check out some of my successes. Here's a good success. These are heritage beans from Amy's family, my wife. These beans have been growing in her family for at least 5 generations in the Appalachian Mountains. We actually did a video on them last year. So this is a success. We have beans, which I planted the beans late. I didn't plant a lot of beans, but I planted enough for my family to enjoy them at least a little bit. So I'm actually going to harvest these beans later today. Another decent success, I think, is these loofahs. I've tried to grow loofah the last 3 years, and every time I was not successful. And again, we don't have a lot of loofah. I probably have at least seven or eight. That's our mini donkeys that board here. But I at least have enough loofahs that I can make some loofah sponges for the family. This is my biggest success maybe of my 2019 summer garden. So those were some successes. Garlic was a success, which I harvested that quite a while ago. Onions were a success. Those are 2 successes. But basically everything else, not so good. So let me show you my horrible garden from 2019. Tomatoes should not be on the ground. What happened? I was lazy and I did not string them up like I should have, as well as I should have. We have gotten tomatoes, but I've definitely lost probably 3 times the amount of tomatoes than I've actually harvested. And if you can see, there are weeds everywhere. What am I saying? If you can see, there are weeds everywhere. So I use this this tarp material that I got from Bootstrap Farmer, and it did its job, except I didn't do my job. I didn't do any weeding whatsoever after a while. I just got busy doing other stuff, and my problem with this plant cloth is that it has holes, but I didn't necessarily plant something in every single hole. So the weeds came up, and what really came up was this knotweed, and I mean, it's everywhere in my garden. This is that knotweed. Really not a fun thing to have in my garden. It's literally everywhere. It's easy to pull up, but I did not do a good job pulling it up. My corn, my popcorn, is doing okay. Again, we'll get a small harvest to make popcorn for the family. My okra, I planted probably 12 plants, only maybe 5 of them made it. The okra's doing okay. I'm letting some grow long so I can harvest the seeds again this year, and I have enough okra to harvest next year. So I got I don't know, maybe half a dozen squashes there. Mainly butternut and pasta squash. I'm gonna harvest my green beans. I'm gonna pick my loofahs. Even though my garden wasn't amazing this year, and I didn't even do a lot of garden videos because I just got busy. Sometimes you get busy, sometimes you get lazy. I was kind of both of those things with my garden, but that's okay. I'm gonna harvest my green beans and I'm gonna celebrate the success of what was successful. I've also realized I've really got to hit my weeds a different way. So I'm going to tarp. As soon as I am able to get a nice silage tarp, and I'm probably gonna have to invest in a nice tarp. It's not a normal tarp, it's a silage tarp. I think they're about $100 for what I need. I'm going to invest in one of those, and that's how I'm gonna start my garden next year, with as weed-free as I can to minimize what is gonna happen later in the season. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna harvest my loofah and learn how to make some loofah sponges. Until next time.